Hey everyone, welcome to my YouTube channel. My name is Tito and I post about honestly anything relating to money, finances, saving money. I'm going to start posting about investing stuff and all that. I was in that 2009 era where I was like posting on YouTube videos to songs and all that kind of stuff. And I honestly loved it. And it was something that I did literally my free time. I would like ask for a camera and then film and make my friends do everything. And I was so obsessed with it. And I feel like I'm trying to get back to my childhood favorites, like things that I used to do when social media didn't exist and I didn't spend every waking moment online. So I figured why not go back to my YouTube days? And so I'm gonna try out posting online about stuff that I actually care about and see how that goes for a while. Which is why I post about money on YouTube because in my everyday life, all I do is talk to my friends about money 24/7. And that's what I talk to my fiance about. And I actually know that they're all sick of me. They're sick of me. So I'm turning to YouTube instead. And that's why I'm here. So subscribe if you want to hear more about money, tips and tricks, things that I do, things that you could do. I am not, however, a financial advisor. I just like running my mouth about stuff that I'm learning about actively in real time. For those of you that don't know, I've mentioned before, I am on a debt payoff journey. I paid off my undergrad loans between undergrad and grad school. And now post grad school, I'm trying to pay off my grad school loans as fast as possible. I had about 160-ish thousand dollars in grad school debt, which honestly is not that bad for 3 years of school. It honestly could have been a lot worse. And so I'm very thankful for the amount that I have. And my goal is to pay it off. And I paid off $80,000 in 2025. And my goal is to pay off as much as possible while still saving for a wedding in 2026. I don't really talk about my wedding era because I don't really care about it that much, but I can. And sometimes I post shorts about it, but I'm not as interested in it unless we're talking about the budget for the wedding, which I am adhering to very strictly. Like, unless the money can be moved from a different part of the budget in my wedding budget, it just doesn't happen. In my head, it's actually not happening because I don't want to increase the budget to get something that I ultimately can't afford for one day. So that doesn't make sense. So that's like my thought process on the wedding era stuff, but I'm rambling about all that. Welcome to my channel. Subscribe if you want to be a part of it and hear me talk about money 24/7. I usually have a coffee in my videos, but I have an early flight tomorrow and I'm not trying to drink coffee at 3 p.m. because that'll just keep me up. So I'm avoiding like caffeine today actually altogether. So all I have is hot water in my espresso cup, which I probably won't even drink. It'll probably be cold by the end of this video. But anyway, today I am going to talk about the 5 money habits that help me pay off $80,000 in debt. Like I said in the beginning of the video, I'm on a debt payoff journey and I graduated grad school with about $160,000 in debt and I was able to pay off half of that in 2025. And these are the 5 things that I think helped me do that. So the first thing that I do that I think helped me pay down $80,000 of debt in 1 year was to make automatic payments on my student loans. I, for whatever reason, have 3 different portals that my loans are through. It's not through one portal. And so I have automatic payments going for 2 of the 3 portals. Well, actually, for all 3. I have all 3 portals on automatic, completely out of sight, out of mind. It takes the money away right away. Now, part of me likes to go in there and check and see what's going on. So I do go in and make extra payments manually because I just like that feeling. I don't know what it is. I like going in and making the manual payments, but I think the automatic payments made it easier for me to not think that the money already exists. Like it wasn't like, oh, I got paid and I have X amount in my bank account, so I'm going to take half of it and apply it to it. But this month I actually want to go shopping, so I'm actually going to only do 1/4 instead of half. No, no, no. It was already gone. It left my account. Like there's nothing I can do about it. I can't get it back. It's already with the loan payment people. It's done. And I think having automatic payments set up makes it so you don't have to second guess. Like, oh, do I have to choose between my loans and this really fun thing I want to do? Or do I have to choose between my loans and this thing that I really need? Like, insert thing here. Like, if the money's already gone, you feel like you're only operating on a smaller budget. And that makes it so much easier to manage your finances in that way because once you feel like you have more wiggle room than you do, it's going to be so much harder to pay off the loans. Like making payments above the minimum payment is a difficult thing to do psychologically. And unless you're committed to it and creating infrastructure around being able to do that, it makes it a lot harder. So first thing I would do is to make sure that my payments are set automatically for all of your loan portals and also make it higher than what you have owed if you can and you have the space in your budget to do so. Do that and that will do wonders for the process of paying off your loans. You may ask yourself, how do I know how much I can budget? I'll tell you. budget tracker below in the bio. I talk about it every video. I love my budget tracker. It's a huge help. It was the best way to help me figure out exactly how much money I had left over. It's hard to conceptualize how much money you have left over or how much money you could conceivably put towards your loans if you don't know how much money you have or how much money you spend. And so a budget tracker is the best way to keep track of that. And that'll help you figure out your number for how much over your minimum payment you can apply towards your loan. So if you want to know all about that, my budget tracker in the bio, happy to answer any of the questions, but go get it and it'll help you with your budget. So that's the first thing that I did, is to make sure I set up automatic payments. The second thing that I do, which is completely in line with the budget tracking that I was just talking about, is doing weekly money check-ins. You may be able to sit down and say, okay, in the month of January, I spent X and my income is Y. So I know I can put this excess amount towards my loans. But in February, it's a shorter month. Maybe you go out less. There was a snowstorm. Maybe things change. You need to be able to know how much wiggle room you have every month. And the best way to do that is in bite-sized pieces by doing it every week. So you should take stock of how much you've spent and what you're spending it on and where your money is going and how much you're making. You need to know exactly what is coming in and exactly what's going out. And the best way to do that isn't just to do it one time when you decide how much more you're going to pay on your loans every single month. It's to do it every month. And the best way to start is by doing it every week. And so you should be making sure that you are creating little categories for yourself. You have your non-negotiables, right? Food, rent, like maybe your car because you have to get to work. Like those are things that you have to pay regardless. But then there's the flexible things: shopping, going out to eat, dyeing your hair, whatever. Maybe you don't need to do all those things. And you can put them all together in one spreadsheet. And by one spreadsheet, I mean my spreadsheet down below in the bio. You can do that by using a budget tracker. It doesn't have to be the budget tracker that I'm talking about. It doesn't have to be the one that I use. It can be anything. You can just be a piece of paper and do a little check-in with yourself. Hey, how are we doing this week? How's the money looking? What's going on? Because similarly, how you want to be able to put more money towards your loans if you have excess and you have wiggle room in a given month, you also want to know if you're going to put yourself in a tough situation because you actually overspent in a given month and you shouldn't maybe make that extra payment towards your loans because you can't afford it. And the best way to do that, like I've been saying, is to do weekly check-ins with yourself. I feel like that really helped me. I do it a little bit more frequently than every week. Sometimes I do it like every 3 days just because it gives me a little, it's built up a little anxiety in me. I'm like, wait, I haven't done it in a while. Like I need to do it. So I don't pick a day of a week that I do it and do it every week like that. It does vary depending on like when I have free time, but I make sure that I do it multiple times a month. And if you're somebody that's better with having strict systems, like every single Saturday morning, I'm gonna do a stock of how much money I make and how much I'm spending and all that, then do that instead. You have to do something. There has to be a system in place. That way, you know every month, okay, how much can I really put towards my loans? And then you put that money towards your loans. The next thing that I think helped me pay off this much debt in 2025 is to avoid lifestyle creep. I think I could talk about lifestyle creep till I'm blue in the face. Like it is something that I talk about all of the time because I think it's the biggest thing that gets people in trouble when it comes to tackling their financial goals. You go from making $60,000 to $80,000 and now you're like, wow, I have an extra $20,000, of course there's taxes, that I can spend. I'm going to go upgrade my apartment, or I'm going to get a nicer car. Instead of walking to work, I'm going to start taking the train every day. Or instead of taking the train every day, I'm going to Uber every day. Or, well, I make more money, so that means I can order out more and I can cook less. All of those things, when you add them up, take hold on the increase that you've made from one job to another, from one salary increase to another. Like it significantly impacts your ability to handle your financial goals the way that you want to, because you are letting your lifestyle impact how you're spending your money. And by inflating your lifestyle and spending money on things that you never would have spent money on before, you are shrinking the extra money that you could use to put towards something like your debt. I noticed it a lot with myself. Like I felt like now that I was making money after grad school, going from making no money to now making money, I was like, oh wait, I actually can afford the nice apartment, or I can get a new car, or I actually can Uber everywhere, or I can go out to eat with my friends 24/7. Like I'm free. And then when I started tracking my expenses and realized, wait, you can't do that and also reach your goals, like it came to a stop. And I cannot recommend enough. Like, obviously, there are some things that you should be able to do, like treat yourself. Don't feel like you need to struggle and like suffocate yourself. If you get raises and increases in your salary, like you should be able to celebrate yourself. But at the same time, be mindful of those changes that you're making to your lifestyle because that can impact the things that you want to do for yourself. So I was very diligent about making sure that I did not significantly increase my lifestyle. I think the best thing that I did was like get a new apartment, and that was it. Like I used to have mice in my old apartment, now I don't. Like that's the upgrade that I did for myself. That felt justified. Otherwise, I'm trying to keep everything as is. I still grocery shop, I still cook, I still do all of those things. I think just being mindful of how your lifestyle changes can impact how much money you have. Avoid lifestyle creep at all costs, especially specifically while you have financial goals. Focus on your financial goals. I'm not saying you have to celebrate when you're 65, but you have a goal. And let's say in 5 or 6 years you meet your goal, then we can celebrate a little bit. But for now, avoid lifestyle creep. That's number three. Fourth thing that I did that I think helped me pay off all of that money in 2025 for my student loans was that I created a level of friction when it came to spending. So I feel like now, especially with technology, as we know, it's become so easy. Like Apple Pay and we used to go together real bad because it was so easy for me to go to a website, click on the thing, Apple Pay, it's done. We're good. Next. Made it more difficult for me to be able to just like easy swipe and spend and go, go, go. I don't go as far as using cash only, which I've seen some creators talk about. I literally can't do that. I'll lose it. More power to you guys. But I don't just like leave my credit card information saved on different websites, especially if the thing that I'm buying is like a one-time thing. And it's like, you want to save your credit card? No, I don't, because I don't want to give any reason to make it easier for me to go back and spend money. I want to be able to feel like I have to get up out of bed and go get my credit card if I want to buy something. I'm creating some friction. Another thing that I do that helps create friction is that I wait on a purchase. Like if I want to buy something that's not necessary and it's not like a social activity like going out with a friend, like if I want to buy like a tangible item, like a pair of jeans or a pair of shoes or a new watch or something like that, I sit and sit and sit on that purchase. Some people have said like, oh, sit on it for 24 hours. If you still want it after 24 hours, you buy it. I honestly do it for like a week. Like nothing that I need is that urgent. And obviously there's like events that come up and those things are different. Like if I have a wedding where their dress code is blue, that's very different than like me wanting this pair of jeans that I don't need when I have 7 other pairs of jeans. So I make myself sit on that purchase for at least a week. And there was a pair of jeans that I really, really wanted. And I was talking to my cousin about it and I was like, wait, I have to get these. I really, really want them. And I kept bothering her about them and I was going to buy them. And then I realized after waiting on it for a few weeks, I actually didn't want them and I never bought them because it wasn't that serious. I actually didn't need them. And I think creating some ways where you have to second guess or think twice about making a decision, like especially when it comes to shopping, is a huge, huge way to help retain your money. And then when you retain your money, what can you do with it? You can put it towards your loans. Now you hear me. Now you hear me talking. So that is the fourth thing that I think really, really helped me, is just creating a sense of friction. Like that's all you have to do. Make it a little bit more difficult for your brain to do that thing that it wants to do so badly, which is just press like buy now. It helps. It's not going to solve your problems. It's not going to make you debt free overnight, but the little purchases really, really add up. And you will learn that by tracking your expenses. So that is something that I think can be really helpful. The last thing I did that I think helped me pay off so much of my loans in 2025 is I kind of gamified the process of paying off my loans. I'm huge into goal setting, but I had to find ways to make it not make me want to rip my hair out of my head, which is exactly how it makes me feel all the time, but I'm working on it. An example is having no spend days. Like I am doing a challenge right now in February where I am not being too hard on myself, but my plan is to do two things. The first one is that I'm going to try to do 14 out of 28 days no spend days. And the second thing is that I'm going to try to cut down my eating out budget with my friends by like about half. For those of you that haven't seen my previous videos, I have mentioned that my weakest link is going out to eat with my friends. Like I actually will spend all of my money on that instead of spending $500 or $600 on going out to eat with my friends, to spend more like $250 or $300 this month. I am on track to hit that. I think I've only spent like $50 so far, which is huge. And I'm very proud of myself. But anyway, we'll see how that goes in my reset video at the end of the month. But that being said, I felt like adding like the 14 out of 28 no spend days. Like, can I do it? Stuff like that really helped make it like more interesting and less taxing on myself that I'm like making these sacrifices to pay off my loans. And so sometimes I'll think like, okay, like it's a no spend day. So like my long drives, I love to get Chick-fil-A and I do long drives pretty regularly. And I had committed to a day this month being a no spend day. And of course I passed like 12 Chick-fil-A signs on my way. But I didn't go. And that's because I told myself, like, listen, you're playing a game, girl. You can't get to the end of the month and have 12 out of 14 of your no spend days. Like, that's pathetic. So I found ways to make it more interesting, to make it more fun, because it can be really, really stressful. And nothing's funny about paying off debt. Like, it's actually not fun at all. So, like, don't make it, I don't want you to think that's what I'm saying. But I'm saying that you have to, like, find a way to bring some levity to the situation because it can be a really stressful process. The more interesting you make it, maybe the easier it'll be. I'm still navigating that one for sure because I still have the other half of my loans to pay off, but I'll let you guys know how it goes when I finally reach my goal, which I hope to reach by the end of 2026, if not the beginning of 2027. But yeah, try to find some ways to make it light and fun because I know I have to, or else I will literally lose my mind. That's for sure. I do want to caveat that by saying that, like, I am very grateful to have a high salary. Obviously, having a high salary helps with paying off debt. I make over $200,000, which I've been transparent about before. And so my post grad school job has made it a lot easier for me to put away so much money towards my loans in 2025. But it doesn't have to be $80,000. It doesn't have to be 60, it doesn't have to be 40, it doesn't have to be 20. It doesn't even have to be 10. It just has to be more than what it was before. And I think if you can commit to doing that, and if you can find wiggle room in your life and space to help you put any amount of money towards your loans that you weren't putting before, that's one step closer to getting to our goal of paying off our debt, which I know if you've made it this far in the video, that is what you're here to do. Thanks for watching my video. I believe in each and every one of you. I think that if you're here, and like I said, if you made it this far in the video, you're committed to paying off your debt, and I think that you can do it. It's going to take time, which is something that I'm learning. It can't happen overnight, which sucks. We can't all win the lottery, which sucks, but it's just one day at a time. So I'm proud of you if no one told you today. Thanks as always for watching my YouTube videos. And if you're new here, please subscribe. There's something about YouTube that I really like. I find it very endearing. And so every time I get another subscriber, I am literally over the moon. So thank you to, at the time of me making this video, the 33 of you that are subscribed to my YouTube. I really appreciate you all. And to anybody that is joining me on this journey, I hope that you enjoyed. All right. Bye.